When someone is deciding what therapist to book an appointment with, what they're really doing is trying to decide what therapist that they can trust to share their most painful experiences with. Is it safe to approach is a phrase that I often use to describe what prospective clients are going through when trying to select a therapist. So they're probably literally not thinking, is it safe to approach? But they're assessing information to try and make a decision around who to choose and who will be the best therapist for them and what will be the least risk in terms of what therapist they select. So, what do we mean by risk? So, risk is thinking things like, will I be misunderstood? Will they just not get me? Will I just not click and build a rapport with the therapist? Will I feel judged? Will I feel embarrassed? And obviously, we hope that no one is going to sit in front of a therapist and feel judged, but these are perceived risks. And so the job of marketing is to counteract these perceived risks by enabling prospective clients to connect with you online. It's a way for them to get to know you a little bit, get a sense of who you are, what your personality is like. Get to think, am I going to connect with this person or not? Understand your philosophy of care, what to expect if they're sitting in a session with you. And all of these things start to erode that doubt and fear and start to build up trust and confidence. Here are 3 ways to build your online presence and increase trust and credibility with your prospective clients. Number 1, the About page on your website. So, the About page on your website often includes things like your biography, which is important, and it's important to include things like qualifications and experience. But also, what's important is to include more information that enables people to get to know you a little bit, understand your philosophy of care, and understand what they can expect if they book a session with you. So, for example, if you had on your About page a description that said something like, when you come and book a session with me, you'll walk into a room and there'll be bean bags and cushions and background music. Kick off your shoes. It's really important to be super comfy when you're in a session with me. Take a seat on the bean bag, take a seat on the cushion on the floor, whatever you feel is right. So straight away, you get a sense of what a session is going to be like. And this will instantly connect with some clients and not others. And so you can imagine if you didn't have that information on your website and someone walked in who was expecting and looking for more of a traditional feel in a therapy practice, straight away they'll be like, oh, no, I don't know if this is for me. This doesn't feel right. And so what we want to do with marketing is remove all surprises, because as soon as you add in surprises, that adds in doubt and questions around whether they've made the right decision. So by providing all this information, you're removing surprises and creating expectations that will then be met by the experience that person has when they walk in and have their first therapy session with you. Also, on your About page, it's important to include a photo, and not just any old standard photo, but making sure that the photo really reflects who you are and your personality. So it obviously needs to be professional, but make sure that it really looks like you. Don't pop on a more formal suit because you think that's what you should wear in a photo. Wear what you would normally wear in a therapy session. And I often say, warm the photo up by maybe taking it outside in nature with some trees in the background, some sunshine, or maybe on your couch in your therapy room. Whatever visual is going to really help people get to know you a bit more and also feel like you're approachable and warm and someone that they could feel comfortable sitting down and having a conversation with. If you do feel comfortable about making videos, then videos offer an even better opportunity for someone to connect and get to know you on your About page. Number 2, your social media. So social media plays 2 really important roles. Firstly, it really helps to build your credibility by sharing lots of really valuable information. And by including posts that are authentic or videos of you, then it's also obviously helping people get to know you a bit more as well. So when you're creating content, make sure that you address at least one or more of these things. So firstly, it's really important to make sure that the content that you're creating is really going to connect and resonate with your ideal clients. Make sure it's speaking directly to your ideal clients' pains and goals and aspirations. Also, make sure that you're providing value through offering insights, teaching, educating, creating those little aha moments for people that people go, oh, I never thought of it that way. And then also making sure that your content really empathizes with what your audience is going through. And lastly, occasionally you can talk about the services you provide, but no one wants to be pitched in social media. But providing all this valuable content, and ideally through some use of videos, it means that you're building lots of credibility and trust in what you can deliver and offer clients, but you're also showing your authentic self. And so people can really get to understand what a therapy session might be like for you if they book an appointment. Number 3, blogs and newsletters. So, blogs and newsletters are technically two types of marketing activities, but they go really nicely hand in hand. So, writing a blog article is really an opportunity to expand on the content that you produce with social media. So, creating a longer, more in depth version of that. So, that means that people build even more trust in you because you're providing even extra in depth information that people can learn from and really benefit from in their own life. And so newsletters come into play because we always want to multi-purpose everything that we do in marketing. And newsletters are a great way of keeping you front of mind. So build up your email list and send those regular newsletters. So say once every 2 weeks, once every 4 weeks, you're going, hey, remember me, here's some more value for you. I hope that helps. And so this will just, by keeping you front of mind, it will increase the chance that when someone is ready to book an appointment, they'll think of you because they'll remember you, but also because you've done that work connecting with them and offering value over time. And so they go hand in hand really nicely because your blog article becomes your newsletter. So these days, text-based newsletters work a lot better. So you write your blog article, you upload that on your website, and then whatever newsletter platform you use, which might be MailChimp, you literally just take that blog article as it is and pop it into your newsletter. So I hope this video was really helpful for you today. So I think it can always feel a bit daunting thinking that you have to start creating this content and putting yourself out there, especially in video content. But I think one thing that's really important to remember is no one is expecting you to be perfect. No one is expecting you to be super polished. And actually, the more less polished you are in a way, the more that connects with people. So it's the difference between being, so you want to be professional, but you don't need to be super polished, if that makes sense. Because just being your authentic self, that is what is going to connect with people. And that is what's going to mean that if someone comes in to see you, they'll be like, oh, they're exactly like they are in their videos. So the last thing you want is to try and be someone you think you need to be in video. And so when someone comes to see you, go, oh, this is not what I was expecting because you seemed like this in your video. So just be your authentic self. And over time, you'll get more comfortable with making videos, but it will just make such a big difference because as the years go on, it's a bit like websites. There was a point in time where people were like, oh, it's sort of normal for some people to have websites and some not. But these days, if someone didn't have a website, firstly, it's very hard to find them. And secondly, there's like, it's like people are a bit skeptical. Like, why don't they have a website? What's going on? And that will become the case with video content as well, that you're competing against other people that are using videos. And so they're able to connect people with people more online. And so you're actually missing out. There's a missed opportunity for you to connect with clients if you're not starting to incorporate videos into the mix.